Hello everyone and welcome back to a new tutorial on the how to make a simulator game series. So in the past tutorial we've made this. So if we play the game, when we click with our sword we gain strength, and we have these two GUIs displaying how much coins and strength we have, as well as making a selling system with a data saving system. Now this is good, but we still need to have some shops. So in this tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you how to make a shop. This is probably going to be split into multiple parts, since right now we're gonna get the base shop going, and in the next tutorial we're gonna be finishing it up, or maybe even later. And before we start this tutorial, I want to let you guys know that I have a Patreon. So if you guys want to support me and want to have access to every single one of my tutorial files, the link will be in the description. For the $10 tier, you'll have access to every single one of my tutorial files, and that's it. With that being said, let's start. So what we're going to be doing is basically making our GUI for the shop, but before we do that, we are going to duplicate our cell plate and move it right over here, and I am going to rename it to let's rename it to open underscore shop, and I am also going to have its color set to a really nice blue. And I am also going to maybe actually this is actually important, so I'm going to change the text to shop. So if you get near it, this should happen, but we have a little problem here where it splits the text. So to fix that, I am going to change the size of our billboard on the x-axis and make it a bit bigger, such as 6, and that should be good. Now I also want to change the text of the cell billboard to all caps, so SELL capital. And now I am going to make this bigger so it doesn't bug again, so 6, and that should be good. Okay, so we've done that. Now I am going to go to the server script and scripts and main server, and actually I'm going to have a module script inside of modules, and I'm going to rename it to let's think of this. So this is going to be the okay, let's remove this. I'm going to go to the remote controller and the cell. Okay, this is good. So I'm going to go back. Really sorry about this, but I kind of messed up there. So add a module script, rename it to open shop, and I'm going to have a local module, local shop opener is equal to, and an empty table, and in here we're going to return shop opener. Now in here I'm going to want to have a function shop opener dot open shop, and that will take the player as an argument, and in here we're gonna fire the remote, so fire the remote. And now in here we are going to repeat wait .1 until workspace wait for child, or we don't need this wait for child, until workspace dot scriptable objects dot find first child open underscore shop, and that should be it. Now in here what we're gonna have to do is workspace dot scriptable objects dot open shop dot touched connect function, and that will take hit. So what is hit? So hit is basically what hits the part. So if it got hit by this cell part, it will return the cell part. If it's a player, then it will return the part of the player that touched the part. With that being said, what we're going to be doing is checking if hit, or let's do local hum, is equal to hit.parent confined first child humanoid. Now we are going to check if hum, then local plr is equal to hit to game on get service players on get player from character, and we're gonna get hit.parent. Now in here we're gonna do if plr is not equal to nil, then in fact let's do the same thing there. So if hum is not equal to nil, in fact let's change this to humanoid. If humanoid is not equal to nil, then what we're gonna be doing is rename this to open shop, because I messed it up right there, and shop opener dot open shop, and that will take the player. Now we're gonna have a little cooldown in here, or actually we're gonna do that from the client. So game dot replicated storage dot replicated storage dot remote, or I think it was game. Okay, so shared dot game dot remote dot, and add a remote event to our remotes folder. So duplicate this and rename this to open shop remote, and I'm going to paste it right there, colon fire client, and that will take the player as an argument. Now we're gonna start making our GUI. So add a frame, rename it to frames, or let's just position it wherever we want, make it as big as we want. Well, basically just position it, and I'm going to go to my unit conversion plugin, which I will leave a link to in the description, and scale the size. Now I am going to change the size, the border size pixel to 0, and add a UI corner, and I am going to set the corner radius to 0.1 or 0.1. Oh, sorry, 0.1, and this to 0, and this to 0.05. Now I am going to rename this to shop, and I am going to have a big title screen that will say shop. So I'm going to scale it up. Background transparency, set that to 1, and set the text scale property to true, and text to shop, and the font. So change the font to Fredoka 1, and I'm going to also, this is totally optional, make it as unique as you want, and just make your own. So make sure you convert every single thing to scale, or else everything will look horrible on mobile, just like it looks horrible right here, because I forgot to convert everything to scale, and this is how important that is. As you can see now, it works. Okay, so let's go back to our shop, rename this text label to title, and add a scrolling frame, put it wherever we want, scale it up, make sure you convert it to scale. I'm going to put this, I don't know where to put this, maybe in here. Okay, I'm just going to put it right here. I am going to change the border size pixel of this border size pixel to 0, and the scroll bar thickness to 5, because I think it's better when it's slimmer, and the color to a lighter color, and then add a UI grid layout to this, and then add a text label add a UI corner to this text label. I know this is kind of a hard process, but it takes a really long time to make a simple UI, just a placeholder, and it's just, I don't know, it's too hard. It takes a really long time. Okay, so change this to a gray color, set the text to nil, which is nothing. And I am going to rename it to template. Duplicate this a couple of times. Now, if you go ahead and go to mobile view, you should see that it's big and huge. So go to your UI grid layout, set the cell padding to the offset to 0 and the other offset to 0. And change the scale to 0.1 or 0.02. And the scale in here to 0.022 or 0.01. And I am going to change the cell size to scale. So change all of the offset values to 0 and the scale to 0.5. Let's change the scale to 0.3 and this to 0.2 or 0.0 or 0.15 or 0.12, 0.13, and that's the perfect value, or maybe 0.135. Okay, now that's perfect. Now I'm just going to delete the old templates, and I am going to add a image label to this, and I am going to scale it down, change its position to 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0. I mean 0.5, okay, I forgot to change my keyboard layout back to French. So 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0. And I am going to change its anchor point to 0.5. Now it should be centered, and change the background transparency to 1. And that should be it. Now I'm going to rename this one to image or img. And we are going to end it here. And I am, before adding these info frames and stuff, we're going to do that in the next episode, but for now we're going to make it so that each item has its own template and image. So make sure that this template is invisible, and we are firstly going to make this go visible when the player steps on this brick. And now I also forgot to add a text button that will close it, so just scale it. Okay, 89, that's good. That is great. Now I'm going to scale this, scale it down, add a UI corner. So the text, the background color to red, but a bit lighter. I like having it say light red, and the text color to white, and the text to a capital X. Text scaled, make sure that's true. Change the font to Fredoka 1. Now I am going to close this, put it right here, and I'm going to put this right over here. Okay, this is annoying me. I'm going to put it right here, sorry, but it's just too annoying. And we're gonna script that later before I change this to scale. And now what I am going to do is make sure that this frame is invisible. Now I am going to go to the main client script and do actually we will, okay, so that's good. What I forgot to do is create some variables for a lot of things. So local rep is equal to game.get service replicated storage, and local shared is equal to rep wait for child shared, and then do local remote is equal to shared wait for child and remote. Now what we are going to do is just do remotes dot open shop mode dot on client event connect function, and that won't take any arguments for sure. And I'm going to do main ss dot shop dot visible equals to true. Now that should open our shop when it's needed, so play the game. Touch this and it opens up our shop. Okay, so that works. Now what we're going to be doing is coding that, so we will add a folder inside of replicated storage, rename it to tools or shop items or just items. Now I'm going to duplicate my tool in the starter pack and rename it to sword 2. And I'm going to change its color to maybe a red. And I'm going to put it inside of our items folder and add a string value to it, or a number value, maybe a string value. And this will be renamed to img id. And now I'm going to, actually that's basically it. Yeah, image id, and we're gonna have a string value for the price, so rename this to price with capital P, price, and set the price of it to maybe something like 10 or 5, and that should be it. Now I am going to have it in order, so add a end value and rename it to order. I'm going to have this one at 1 because it's the first sword, and I'm going to loop through for I comma item in next comma wait for child items, I mean shared, also I forgot to put in a comma right here, in next shared comma wait for child items, get children do if item is a tool, then I am going to check local price is equal to item find first child price, local img id is equal to item find first child, and we are going to take the img id and we are going to the local order is equal to, and I think I'm going to do item find first child order, and now I'm going to check if price is and image id and order, then we can check if order is equal to I, then if order dot value is equal to I, then else continue. Now after doing that, we are just going to create a template. Now I'm going to print item print item dot name, and if we go ahead and play the game, I should print sword 2. Okay, so that works. Now we are going to try printing the price and stuff, so print item dot name dot price dot price dot order and dot order, so dot image id and dot image id. Now if you go ahead and play the game, you should print all of the data, and we have an error. So that is very simple to fix. And to fix it, I am going to change this to dot value. So add a dot value to every single one of these, just to know that everything is working. Dot value, and play the game again. Now you should see that we sort to price is 5, order is 1, and image ID is not displaying, and I really don't know why. Okay, because it's empty, so I'm just going to put some random ID. Okay, so we're gonna clone our template now. So add some variables right here. Local shop is equal to main assets convey to child shop, and local that's it, shop, and we're gonna do local template, local temp is equal to, or yes, local temp is equal to, and shop dot scrolling frame dot template clone, and temp dot parent is equal to shop dot scrolling frame. And now we are going to do temp dot name is equal to item dot name, and after doing that, we're going to create some values. Now local price client price val is equal to instance dot new and string value, and it will be price val dot name is equal to price, and I'm gonna do price val dot value is equal to price dot value, and then we're gonna do price val dot parent is equal to temp. Now after doing that, we're gonna copy it again, paste it, and now you wanna change this to I think we're gonna need that's it, we're just going to need the price. Now if you go ahead and play the game, also make sure that temp dot visible is equal to true, and make sure that this template is invisible. Now if you go ahead and play the game and go open the shop, you should have a template for it. Okay, so check your main screen GUI, shop, scrolling frame, sort 2, has a price value, and its value is already set. So this is going to be it for today's tutorial. If this helped, please make sure to subscribe, like the video. I spent a lot of time preparing and making these tutorials. So if you guys want to support me, you can subscribe or join my Patreon. And yeah, this is pretty much it. And I'll see you all in the next tutorial. Bye.